Hello and welcome. This is your GM in the Great Barrier, broadcasting from the center of your entertainment galaxy. And we are back tonight with Star Trek Adventures Broken Sword. And tonight's episode, The Prospect of Violence. So, we welcome you in this evening, or whenever you are watching this here in the archive. Let us get started as the Jan moves towards its next job with a log from the ship's security officer.
Low's personal log. Star date. Who cares anymore? Something's wrong. I haven't felt present. Every moment the last few weeks has been like it's someone else. Someone else telling me what to do, what to say. The words that come out of me are a parody of my own. I'm just so tired. If I could just wake up, maybe Traven would be okay. Maybe Captain would still be fond of me. Maybe that thing in the brig wouldn't be so fucking loud. I can hear him snarling even now. Was I this loud? Is every birth like ours a cacophony of rage, screaming to be heard? Is this what she heard when I was with her? Is this why she hated me? Uh, I can feel others a little more every day, pressing in and in, even when I'm alone. Is sleep my only reprieve from this fucking nightmare? I can feel the way Kresic hungers to play around in my brain. Maybe I'll let him. Maybe he can shut it off. Just for a little while. I'm just so tired. End of log entry.
And it is on that disquieting note that we join the on. I would say at this point, probably weeks after we last joined them, to say that the atmosphere on the ship has probably been a little bit off kilter or more calm doesn't quite speak to it, I suppose. But certainly just a sense of waiting, or certainly there's been much going on in these past couple of weeks. Some very near misses that had struck the crew this last time, and very dangerous blows have nonetheless left their marks across the crew. Um, I suppose I should start off by asking, would anybody like a particular scene to start off the session?
Not that I can think of, no.
My scene was going to be with Traven, so we can skip that.
I gotcha. If you would still like the chance to check on the other patient that you had, though I think we established don't
Yeah.
necessarily have, then that is always an option. And so we start off the session over in sickbay, where doctor, you are going through the most recent of a number of checkups that you've conducted since your last efforts to take what information you had been able to gain from the ship and ensure that you had something usable, something that would help resolve the situation. And it is here that we find you with your one conscious patient.
How do you feel? That bad, huh?
Oh no. Azek has mute mic syndrome.
Sorry.
Could help some.
I could use a gawk pocket.
Traven is sleeping.
Delusional.
Well, I'm still here.
Do you feel like stabbing anyone still?
Depends on the situation.
Good.
Is anybody local planning on going against the Klingon Empire or our captain at any point?
Not that I know of.
There doesn't happen to be a certain little farmer girl hitchhiking along, is there?
Unfortunately, no.
Then I'd say I think we're doing good.
Good. I will still need to monitor you regularly, but I think you are cleared for active service again.
What kind of monitoring are we talking? Are we talking like main screen viewing monitoring? Are we talking a little pad monitoring? Regular checkup monitoring?
Weekly checkups in sickbay.
Okay. And we
You'll be
still only have
pleased.
the one sick bay, right?
Yes,
Got it.
just one medical facility. You'll be pleased to know I named the disease.
What did you name it?
I call it Uhog-Korg syndrome. Congratulations. You have a disease named after you.
Yay! May it bring glory to the Empire and our captain.
No, it will not.
Can't you genetically re-engineer it so it will?
If you ever ask me to do that again, I'll remove your other arm.
What, for improving a bad thing into a good thing?
There is nothing good about that work.
Well, hear me out. Like if something gives you the common cold and you take that thing that gave you the common cold and turn it around and it no longer gives you the common cold, but it gives you a little shot of energy for the next 5 to 10 hours. That's turning a negative into a positive. I'm not saying take the common cold thingy and figure out how to distribute it across entire planets worth of people. That would just be totally inappropriate. But as it kind of drifts off, his stomach starts rumbling.
Do you require food?
Yeah, I'll make my way down to the mess hall or the galley.
All right. So
Good.
yes,
Dismissed.
you dismiss the old pilot, and he begins to walk out of the out of the room, leaving you, Kresic, with a single patient, one who has remained mostly unresponsive these past few weeks. Indeed, it is a wonder, though, that he has made it as far as he has, or in the state he is in, with the amount of blood loss and sheer damage to muscle in the chest cavity. There are a good number of others that would have simply been eviscerated by an attack such as what he suffered.
He is either strong or favored by the gods, one of the two.
And based on your based on what you've seen of him, the latter seems more likely.
Can I just do a quick check on him and make sure that the healing is going properly?
Go ahead. Run a reason and medicine scan with a difficulty of 1, please. And you may be assisted by the ship, which will use computers and medicine for anyone who wishes to roll for that. Okay, so Kresic, you have rolled 2 successes on that, which will give you 1 in excess. Would one of the others care to roll for the uh, for the ship, please?
Yeah. What do we
And
need?
while we are on this, who would like to be the designated momentum officer?
Whoa! Whoa can do it this time.
No, I did it that one time, and then I almost did it again, and it was awful. We're not doing that. I've done the big thing. I'm not doing anything else today. Never ask me anything again.
Oh, do you still have 11 threat, Mr. GM?
I took additional threat this session because we are at the start of a new adventure. I did have
And
5.
Gawk Pockets were mentioned, so he gets more threat every time that Gawk Pockets get mentioned.
Also true.
Oh.
And then I had 5 threat left over from the previous adventure.
Okay.
What does ship need to roll?
The ship needs to roll. I believe I had stated computers and medicine.
All right, nice.
I suppose sensors would also make sense if that were any better, but I stand mostly by computers.
No help from the ship.
All right. Well, Raldar, you have failed to roll the ship. Would you like to do recompense by being the designated momentum officer?
Fine.
There we go.
See, I'm the good captain. I try to delegate. See.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah, you and your one security. Doing excellent.
I'd say bite me, but you would.
And it would do
Yeah,
damage.
you wouldn't be able to do
would hurt.
anything.
It would hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
Just remember, everybody, you get back your 1 point of determination.
yep, everybody does have a point of determination to start with. Kresic, from your analysis, the healing process seems to be going about as well as you could expect. In terms of his internal system with like immune responses and all of that, you think that you have calibrated that and done everything you can to give it an appropriate boost, and to give like you are doing everything you can to infuse a proper degree of nutrients that would ensure that his recovery proceeds as quickly as possible. And with what limited equipment that the Jan has aboard, you are doing what you can in order to stimulate the regrowth of his muscles. The concerning there are concerning elements. The little bit that you had learned already working with Traven and things he had alluded to specifically that you have been very concerned about keeping an eye for any any sort of after effects of perhaps a bacterial or viral infection that might have come with the feral clone of Raldar. As the Trill you have learned are much more susceptible to that, and you're boosting his immune system as much as possible. You think at this point that you are out of the woods there. The greater problem has obviously come in terms of the sheer amount of muscle damage. The jaw had easily, for lack of a better term, it ripped out a considerable bit of the muscles along his chest and back along one side. Just wholesale evisceration that while there are some methods that if the muscle had simply been damaged, there are tools that could have had him up within a relatively short amount of time. The things are so extensive in this particular case that longer term therapies and efforts necessary to far augment the body's existing healing process are necessary. It is also such that even with that, it could be easily weeks, possibly months before he fully recovers. And that's to say nothing of what he might take in mobility. All of this is still far from the worst case scenario, as Traven did very nearly die in that last battle, but he's definitely paying for it.
All right. So after I do that, monitor his vitals, set up some little alarms just in case anything spikes. I just kind of say under my breath, all these soft skins trying to be what they aren't. I'll need to come up with something to keep him from killing himself again. And then I head over to my office, sit down in my chair, and pick up that old data pad that I got off of the ship that we were on. Open it back up and start reading.
And we will leave that scene there for now. I guess then let us cut elsewhere along the ship. Let's see. Would anyone else particularly like a scene at this moment in time? Well, I guess hearing none, I can go ahead and well, I think that it would at least be good to check in with our commanding officer here. So let's go ahead and move to, let's see, Captain, would you prefer the corridor of the Yon or engineering, the bridge? What do you think would be apt?
Bridge would probably be best.
Okay. So, let's see. Going over to the bridge, I guess just to set the scene here, would you prefer, well, rather, let's see, would anyone in particular like to be in the scene right now? Either with main characters or supporting characters.
I guess I could.
The one-armed
Look,
bandit should
sure.
probably be on the bridge, don't you think?
Oh. As it can,
He's in the galley.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. He's getting munchies and
Dekoth could
munchies.
be there though. I can run Dekoth.
sure thing. That will count as an activation for Dekoth, so you can add something extra to him. And then Woe, I believe, or rather Ray, you were saying you're either going to bring in Woe or perhaps Croker, depending on what's your preference.
I'm going to be prepared today.
Spectacular. That means Dekoth can be at tactical, while Croker is, well, they're
Busy
at,
making the captain uncomfortable.
yes, he's at that station. The other station immediately over the captain's chair.
Oh, great.
I just love the idea of him trying to catch a glimpse down the captain's shirt. Oh, awful.
Yep.
Anyways.
Why?
Let's see.
Okay, he's not that bad. But anyways, yeah, he needs to be on
Yeah.
sensors.
So at the very least, I'm putting Bahan at the helm, and Vopri with sensors being occupied, he will move to a different. He'll actually move up to a front station and be working with communications. He decided to put some distance between himself and the Klingons. Yeah, you are cruising along at a modest warp speed right now. The bridge is abuzz with activity, probably as full as it's been most days. The increased crew has definitely helped to uh, give you more normal coverage or something closer to normal operations. However, I suppose that the array of crew has well, it's been a little variable, of course. Woe has been in at different times. The Traven remains out of commission, which has affected at least galley service. Not that he was doing much else. And Azek has been kept kind of on lighter duty or on observation until the doctor was certain that it would be good for him to return. So that is more or less where you are. Yes, before anything else, does anybody want to do or say anything before plot stuff happens?
Not that I can think of.
There
So
was
we're
something,
headed
but I don't remember. I'm sorry.
to the system
Yes, yes.
that you put the little blurb in there for us.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
I'm sorry, it's been a while. I'm trying to remember.
That's quite all right. Bahan will say, "Oh, oh, Captain, I believe we're getting very close now to the Tal'Ihnor system."
Good.
Oh, oh dear. Yeah, yes, I was going to say you might want to do pre-approach scan given the presence of the I'm sorry, I am bad with the Klingon pronunciation for this. The he Vopride tries to clear his throat a little bit. The Lojmitme? Yeah, that's, I believe, the Lojmitme singularity. There is a black hole near the system edge.
Okay.
Then fly around it.
That's why I was saying pre-approach scan would be ideal for upper course.
Can I? What is that? Is that control and science?
That would actually be reason and science. And since this
Yeah.
would be...
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, this is the first time that I think that you are using Krokr as part of the crew, so technically this is an activation, which means that you can give them a point in an attribute or a discipline as a one-time thing. You can also give them a talent, value, or focus.
Any suggestions, fellas?
No, sorry, I do not know the system well enough to make a proper suggestion.
Focus is, you know what? We're just gonna throw seduction in there. I don't really care what any of you say.
Oh,
this is what you get. This is what you get for not being helpful.
I was helpful when I told you that I wasn't going to be helpful. Doesn't that
yeah.
count?
Super. Nope. Sorry.
Super. Thanks.
Seduction it is.
All right. So yeah.
Damn it.
I will.
Oh, crap. Captain, I am not finding anything.
To be fair, Krokr, how could you find anything on the sensors when you just can't help but look at the captain?
Ooh.
Oh, such lustrous chest hair. Can't keep it together at all. Oh no! Why did I do this?
I don't know. Why did you do this?
Anyway,
I thought it would be funny.
In all seriousness, well, half seriousness, I suppose, there's a complication on the board. which, in addition to the no successes on that sensor roll, does mean that, well, with the complication, does mean you have a choice here. Would you prefer to take the narrative roll, or I mean the narrative complication, or do you wish to give me 2 threat to buy it off?
I want you to know, no matter what, no matter how bad things get, I'm always going to take the narrative every time. Even if I'm actively dying, I'm not going to feed you.
Very well, very well. And then they flew into the black hole, and, and it turned out to be
Well,
well, they thought for a moment it was a wormhole because they almost made it to the Delta Quadrant. But then they turned to the size of a pinpoint. No, that is.
do we skip the whole spaghettification part, or do we just shrink?
I was
No,
hoping
no.
for salamanders, space salamanders myself.
Oh God, no.
You became noodles. There was a whole light show, and let me be clear when I say noodles. You became Tagliatelle specifically, and um, you entered the pastaverse, as it were.
Oh, good. Well, that's good because I'm a pastafarian. So.
Oh,
Yes.
worm? Okay.
You had to kill the flying spaghetti monster, which is appropriate for a Star Trek thing because there should at least be one time to kill God in a campaign.
Something, whatever god that may be.
Yes, and the Klingons slaughtered their gods long ago, so it's doubly appropriate.
Yeah.
Um,
But all we have left are the Greek gods. That's okay. It's all Greek to me. Ha ha.
Yes.
Sorry.
Anyway, I'm sure that the viewers have long since abandoned ship, so let's find a separate way to do this. Okay. Let's see. As part of the complication, I think that I'm going to rule that I will not rocks fall, everyone dies this situation, but I am going to say that the sensors are in fact out of alignment, which is part of the reason that Croker is not having a very productive time. So that will mean that for at least this session, sensor tasks are going to be attempted at an increased difficulty of 1.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
Yep.
Can I fix it?
that you could do that when you become aware of it, unless Raldar is already aware of it, which he might be. Um, but anyway.
What, his impotence?
Oh, no, we're not.
No.
Listen.
Aware of a sensor issue. The sensors are not are the things that are not working properly. I should have clarified. Anyway, so Bahan says it. Oh, I think it's on the opposite end of the system right now, Captain. So we are probably fine. That being said, I'll probably want to slow to impulse now. From what I hear, if you get it too close to some of the to a claim a miner might have in the system, they're a very prickly bunch.
There is a black hole. Give me visual.
Right?
Pulling up visual
On
now,
screen.
Captain.
We should be able to see the distortion.
Yep. So ahead of you, there is the streaking of stars as the Theon is still presently at warp, a ways outside of the system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have not entered.
I thought we were much closer. I apologize.
No, you are very close in terms of like relative distance, but space is still big and sensors are still like pretty long range. So,
all right.
like you've got hours to minutes to plot convenient amount of time. So, yeah.
So when we come out of warp at a theoretical safe distance, give me visual, because then we could at least see either the distortion or the glow of the accretion disk.
Sorry, I just noticed your question there. Just noticed your question there, Ray, and the answer is probably if you want to take a look at the if you want to, tell you what, give me a difficulty 1 insight and science roll there. Engineering would also be acceptable as an alternative.
Is this a assist as far as Betty's concerned?
Yeah, I think that I will allow a wholesale reroll because this is insight, uh, thus making it a separate attribute here. Yeah. So Croker would indeed notice here that there is actually something off with the ship sensors.
Captain, there's something wrong with the ship. The sensor specifically.
Ah, let me take a
A
look.
quick question.
Hmm?
Would she have picked up what exactly it was?
Oh, here I'll type something to you as Croker, rather as Tabak comes over to your console in order to take a look.
Okay.
So Tabak, you step up from the captain's chair in order to move to the console. Then,
Yep.
all right. You walk over and take a place immediately next to your current sensor operator. Is it everything you hoped for, Croker?
Even better. He doesn't turn to look at you, but he takes a big sniff of the air.
Klingons are very, smell oriented. Yeah, gotcha on that.
Captain Betty has picked up on something.
Who?
Betty. You know.
Could it be? Could it be? Secret message through subspace. Secret
Oh my
message.
God. Oh,
I'm totally
there
not
is
at this point.
And
there
now
is
my
a
11-year-old is singing Secret Tunnel in the next room.
as he should be. Okay.
A defective one, that
Suddenly
is.
there's like a
Yeah.
there's like a slight click, and Croker's eyes glow a little bit, and then what kind of looks like a hologram, a mask goes over his face, and it's like a middle-aged woman. She says, Captain, the external sensors are out of alignment, probably a processor, slightly defective. And then she disappears.
By all that is unholy in Grethor, what was that?
Was Betty! You know, I've talked about her several times. It's almost as if you never listened to me, Captain. I don't understand.
I try not to. What the heck was that?
That was my friend. She's an AI I had installed in myself. Well, I say on myself. It was a little bit against my will, but you know, these things happen.
No. No, they don't.
He slaps the captain on the back. You're such a kidder.
I push him violently away. Don't touch me.
Oh, I think that's technically a daring and security roll. The question.
Oh, come on.
I tell you what, it's only that if Croker decides to contest.
You know what? I am contesting. Let's say
Oh,
Croker
God.
throw his arm around the captain's shoulder.
Oh. Ah!
Oh no!
You know,
do I have to roll to beat that or no?
well,
No, it's already beaten by comedic value.
Oh,
yeah,
I know.
so that for the viewing and listening audience at home, Tabak just off the bat has rolled 1 success, but also a complication, which we can touch on in a moment. I
The
will not
freaking
say
dice roller is weighted.
it is not outright disqualifying, but it may pose problems. Croker, what do you do next? Or what is
Oh.
you may go ahead and give this a roll still.
What was it? Was it
Daring and
what
security.
was the roll? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, hang on. I'm sorry about the dog noise. Hang on.
That's quite all right. Well, that is one success there, which matches the captain, and I generally think the tie would kind of neutralize a bit of this, but I think the complication, I hmm,
Normally the tie would go to the runner, but the runner just ate the bag. So okay. Oh, that was a wrong. Oh, that was a bad analysis. That was a bad analysis. Bad.
oh
Oh, I
my.
would love it if, in attempt to push him off, he accidentally just held him back.
Yep.
Oh,
You shove too violently, thinking still in your head somewhat modulated towards the Klingon mutants, and in the process what I think what happens here is that instead of shoving him away, you push him with such force that you actually like send him back into the support pylon that is immediately behind the both of you, and you made this a big full body push too, so there wasn't so much space that it knocked Croker back with any significant force. He is not injured, but basically you effectively have him like pinned right to that, and you are all very much in his face with this. So that's basically you've accidentally gotten to very close distance with Croker in the effort to shove him back, and you have him against this pylon here. So
Captain, here in front of everybody.
Shut your mouth. And then
Betty
I turn
pops up.
around and go to
real
Trevor.
quick.
What was that?
Betty pops up real quick and backhands you.
oh no,
You need more manners, sir. That is not the way we conduct ourselves in this house.
Oh jeez, Betty just set off a Betty just technically challenged Tabok to a battle to the death.
Well, let me just ask you real quick, Tabok. Are you willing to get that up close and personal with Croker?
I'd rather just throw him out the airlock at this point.
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
You could always put him on the next most lethal duty. Because as an alarm goes off near one of the consoles, it occurs to you that it is feeding time for the ship's other occupant.
Go feed it. And then I will turn my back on them and try to determine what's wrong with the sensors. If we're cruising along here at warp 5, we're probably right about to hit the point where we gotta drop out of warp. Because the Klingon thing to do would be to kill him. But I suck at killing people right now. So I was supposed to be. I've never modified the character because I'm an idiot.
Croker sighs dejectedly. Always the mixed signals with this one. The things I do for love. And with that, he leaves to go feed the thing.
Oh,
the thing?
The thing.
Which I think it is an appropriate time to bring in Raul.
Oh.
What was that?
That's what's happening to the thing at the moment.
Oh, okay.
This is an appropriate moment to bring in Raldar as well, because I imagine that it would be ideal to have one of the fairly beefy bunch of the crew in order to help handle this. And let's just say, Raldar, this has also been this is a deeply personal situation as well for you in some ways. So
yeah.
Moving back through the ship in what is effectively, I believe, I'm trying to remember the brig is on the. We have one on the crew deck, don't we?
I don't think we actually have a brig.
Oh. I guess
Not?
then converted storage closet that is being used to lock up this thing.
We do have a bunch of cargo bays.
Yep. Yeah, I suppose the designers of this ship just figured that if anybody required a brig, then the captain would have just shot them.
Yeah, or stabbed them, shot them,
Yep.
throw them out the airlock.
So, at this point, let's see. Yeah, Krokr, you find your way back to the ship where one of the cargo holds has been cleared out and converted essentially for use. Immediately outside of the corridor, you would of course find the ship's engineer, Raldar. Raldar, how heavily armed are you opting to go in for this situation?
Rather than a conventional weapon, it looks like he took parts from engineering and made a rather aggressive cattle prod.
Oh,
Nice.
pain stick.
Because we don't own any pain sticks.
Yes.
We
How
what?
pathetic crew.
I'm fairly
We
certain
own no pain sticks, sir.
Oh, that's gonna have to get fixed.
Yes.
So I made one.
Oh, that
Taybox.
might be even better.
Taybox, so many of Taybok's problems would be fixed if he only had access to pain sticks right now.
Feel like
That might exacerbate at least one problem.
Oh, jeez. Anyway,
it's not for the horny people.
Oh my god, okay. Anyways. Krokor sidles up to Raldar and said, "Hello, handsome. What are we doing today?"
Calming it down.
there's also, I will say that there is like a bucket of gagh that's around for lack of anything else. There's in the absence of Traven's usual cooking, you are forced basically to, or rather, he hasn't been able to come up with any particularly efficient measure to deal with this. So the nearest you can do to basically feeding this thing fish heads. But
Let's see if we can
Betty
get
pops
it.
out. Sorry, go ahead.
Calm down a little bit.
Betty pops out for a minute and looks at the food. Well, this isn't going to do anyone any good. Is this all we have on this ship? Ugh. Disgusting.
just
Oh,
just for the frame of reference, not that Raldar would care so much for the nuance, but can we describe Betty's face just a little bit more as it projects out from the eyes?
Oh, it's like it's kind of in a bluish light. She probably looks very similar to what you'd see for a 50s housewife in an old like cookbook ad. That's the vibe. Her hair does change appearance pretty much every time. Right now it's in curlers. But
You have
she very
a gram of Betty Crocker on your face.
it's the
Yeah.
Jetsons.
Thank you for finally putting their names together. Oh my god. It's driving me crazy. Yeah. Their full name is Betty Crocker. Anyways, yeah, that's her.
Anyway, yeah. Suffice to say, human as well.
Yes, she's human.
Yeah. Or what some less aware might mistake as Kohach, although they would be very puzzled by the accent.
I feel like Raldar would grimace a little bit at the projecting face thing. It's like one problem at a time.
Well, you're no dreamboat yourself. She picks right up on you, making a face at her.
Deciding that you would rather deal with the abomination inside than deal with this situation, you open the door, and sure enough, snapping against the multiple chains charging forward is the entity
Slightly bigger.
Yeah, the bigger, beefier version of you that nonetheless, even without the chip that you discovered that allows it to be allowed it to be manipulated in the first place. This is still a plenty rage-filled individual or thing, however you choose to think about it.
He's gonna, turn on the little shock prod there. Get back, like like he's talking to a dog, more or less.
Targ.
A Targ.
If you would like to intimidate, you can roll with security and presence here.
All right, I will try that. Definitely do not have a focus for that. So, yeah, only one.
It simply snarls and breathes heavily at you, snapping its jaw a little bit as you charge the baton. It is not persuaded by your maneuver.
I think it's more of a spear, honestly.
Fair enough.
Are we gonna stand around all day, or are you gonna feed the thing? She pushes the bucket into Roldar's hands.
Yeah. All right. Now, I'm fairly certain you understand basic commands. So, if you want to eat and have food, you will step back.
It snarls a little bit more, but it diminishes and it takes a step or two back. It is no longer straining against the restraints that you have, bolting it to the far end of the compartment, but it is still. Um, it still looks quite vicious, just staring you down.
Keep the shock prod pointed at the thing as he sets forward to set the bucket down to where it can reach and, starts sitting back.
When you clear the range, it will snarl, leap forward, and reach to the bucket and just like with absolute abandon uh, and just pure instinctive speed, it will start just trying to like force its jaw down the bucket and eating as eating as much of its fill as it can.
See? Trainable. It just needs to learn.
Oh, that poor thing. When's the last time it had anything to eat? Betty,
Just
not now.
It's eating now.
Oh my god.
Last time it ate Traven.
Oh, good lord. Okay.
Sorry, I'm not there.
I just like the idea of the disembodied captain's voice just being there.
Neither Betty nor Croker are alone in their head anymore.
The captain lives rent free in their mind.
Yep.
Why not? Apparently everybody else does.
Yeah. So this this large clone of you, Raldar, is now just kind of hunched over, chomping away at the amounts of gach and starting to turn it over a bit to speed the flow of the worms. Some of them dribbling down its chin, some barely getting the chance to be chewed up properly, but a good number still get sliced by the teeth. Yeah, it's a mess.
Ugh.
By the teeth. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. Yeah, 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 it's a mess. Yeah,
We'll wait longer between feedings and see if that'll calm him down next time.
This is horrible, honestly. I'm a little bit disgusted in everyone's behavior here.
It eats
Do you
like
have
a
any more?
dog. It acts like a dog.
It's you. It's you, but bigger.
Exactly. I want to know how much of me is in its head. I'm sure it could be useful if we can get it to, calm down.
Crocker walks over and closes the door. Have you talked to the doctor about sedatives?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, am I even aware of this?
I feel like you would be.
Oh yes, did I not mention in the absence of a proper brig, we have chained up the Raldar clone that we brought back with us.
Because I feel like Kresic would have a problem with this if he knew about it.
I guess we can make some slight adjustments here. Would the preference have been the easiest way would have been to simply develop some sort of restraints in it, like chains or other durable sort of things. If you would like, there's probably been enough time to at least improvise a cell, um, or that is.
Yeah,
I'm
he did
also
one of the
fine.
cargo holds chained to the wall. There you go.
I'm also fine with just the fact that I am like always in my med bay, that I am completely unaware of all of this going on.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's funny.
I'm gonna go rat on Raldar and his weird prisoner.
Prisoner.
Child. His weird child.
There we go.
Locked in the cupboard.
Well, we will
Oh.
stay consistent with at least the knowledge that for the time being, Kresic only knows that the Raldar clone is being detained, but that it is also being cared for, and that at the nearest possible opportunity, it could be brought in for scans, but it is presently not deemed as safe. The specifics of that conduct we can leave to the knowledge of, at the very least, Raldar, who has been involved with a lot, if not all, of the feedings. If you wish, Raldar, the captain may also be aware of this. I will give you control here in terms of saying what you think has been done with the prisoner, as you will.
I've run off the assumption. I'm pretty sure they know. I think the captain would be questioning the rattling of chains and banging it probably makes.
Oh yeah, no. I'm sure he's just vibing with the Jacob Marley aesthetic you've created in our hall. Like, oh my god, okay.
I don't know if Captain's come to see him since then, but he's here.
No.
Oh.
And I've
Captain
been
would have just left them alone.
yeah, no.
This man is just letting his ship run wild. Oh my god, this captain.
So half my time's engineering, and my other half of time is trying to train the Tard, so to speak.
I like that you're using code words so that no one's onto your bullcrap.
Particularly
this-
Kresic.
This is a plan.
Okay, Croker asked you a question. Have you considered sedatives? And based on how you answer that, things are gonna happen.
Not yet.
But
Maybe
you're planning
if we
on it, right?
maybe if we want to bring it in for more detailed scans, but
Oh, okay. So there has been scans. So you know that there's, sentience or basic brain function other than hunger.
yes. I had a front seat to its creation, so I'm not exactly unaware of what its maker wanted out of it.
Betty pops up and eyes Raldar suspiciously. Next time we come for feeding, I expect you to actually bring it some utensils, treat it like a human being, because this was pathetic. I'm not okay with this, and she walks off totally mad. Crooker is forced to follow.
I feel like he'll choose to. Wait, you eat gall with your hands anyway. This is the proper way to eat it.
He says,
Not
as
to
the,
Betty, it isn't.
he says as it is like dumping a bucket full of gah just all over the place and picking some
Okay,
up.
maybe not that much, but you use your hands to eat gah.
He's like
hear
licking it
Betty
off the
shout.
floor.
Listen, we don't make God angels in this ship, okay? That's enough.
Hey, he licked it up.
Oh,
Utensils is all you hear, and then Croker rounds the corner.
I have missed this ship. I hope all of you have too.
We all have.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to remember to clip this one later too. Anyway, yeah, back on the bridge, Captain with Croker. The Croker is in fact not there. The thought of him may linger, but he is gone now. And you find
Left his aura there for sure.
Ugh.
yes. So,
All right, so I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with the sensors while they're down tormenting the questionably sentient monstrosity that we have locked in the basement.
Torment. It's just feeding time.
Right, with a cattle prod. So is it? What am I using? Control and engineering.
Yeah, I think that would be particularly useful, and I would even be willing to say I think Croker did try to jump in a little bit with mention of something that was going wrong. So,
Okay.
I would be willing to let that be like a retroactive assist if you wanted.
Meaning I would get an extra die.
Rather, Croker would roll. But
Okay.
we
Okay. All right. Sorry, let me. Where is he?
sorry
Where are
to keep you going with this here.
they? Oh, I'm enjoying this. This is delightful. All right, what am I rolling? I'm so sorry.
It would be insight and engineering.
Ah.
So, let me look over here, and well, it was only meant to be an assist roll there, but that works. I'll just
Oops,
take the
sorry,
2 there.
sorry.
No, you're fine. So, Tabak with the you recall a slight mention of possibly an alignment issue with the sensors. You look through, and sure enough, a quick diagnostic shows you that there is likely a faulty processor somewhere that are throwing these sensors out of alignment. You can easily effect a bypass, and I will even go so far as to say that as a minor action, or basically make it something irrelevant with the number of successes you got, because I was going to say this was just a difficulty 1 task. You identified it easily with 2 successes, and Croker's extra 2 there would have given you all you needed.
So got it fixed.
Yep.
Is that what you're saying? Good.
Yep. With that, I will also give you the pre-approach scan telemetry is coming through. The singularity is not where Bahan thought it was going to be exactly, but it is not in your way. I'd say that if you were approaching from the system plane, if you were approaching relatively from if you were approaching roughly from the 7 o'clock position, visualizing it, the black hole is about at 4 o'clock.
But we're actually moving into the system along the plane of the ecliptic?
Yes.
Okay. And where we're coming in at 4 o'clock. Where's the...
No. You're coming in at about 7 o'clock. The black hole
Oh,
is at 4 o'clock.
okay, good. Then we theoretically should be far enough away. This system's got to be crazy with a black hole. Okay.
Yeah. It is at like considerable distance still, but enough that the gravitational influence is felt. Is actually as you were tending to things, Vopri comes up and takes a glance over the telemetry. uh, well, it is a lucky thing for the Empire, I suppose, that this it merely constitutes a partner to the stars. Their gravitational influences entwining each other without necessarily stripping away the valuable materials.
Right. Now all we have to do is we're going to get to the planet. There's a planet, right? Sorry, Mr. GM.
No, Captain, I was actually reviewing our specific orders. Um, the uh, the contact we had with the mining guild did send something along, and I was taking a quick look over in order to review what was going on. Um, it seems as though there is a small planetoid, more like a asteroid type object, generally um, very negligible object, but seems to have a dilithium vein, and apparently one of the mining guilds. Um, it seems that they placed a claim on it, but there are Kreel occupying the asteroid. They are conducting a mining operation there. And the actual claim goes to there's a Klingon house, I believe, affiliated. House Klog.
Hmm.
It does not surprise me, though. The Klingons do not typically give permits to non Klingons.
Find us our rock.
Yes, Captain. And so with that, Vopri will take a quick look over the sensors. I'll just give it one more roll here with a reason and science. And if anyone wants to roll for the ship, just a quick assist from the quick assist from the
Ship.
yes, sensors and science. That is what I was thinking of. The GM's brain was momentarily broken.
Yet again.
Captain, I believe I have, with 2 successes, I have detected the planetoid. It is in the appears to be in the outer system, or as far out as such objects would be. We will want to make slight adjustment for course. There are it appears 2 other objects nearby that are actively being mined, and given the predisposition of miners, we would probably want to evade.
Are these miners Klingon or are they Kreel?
Vopra just looks at you blankly for a moment. The only miners in the system, at least that are legally allowed, Captain, would be Klingon.
They would, yes, but you mentioned Kreel.
Well, there is Kreel at this one outpost. The Han looks over and says, "Yes, I heard I heard you'd taken this job. I thought that's the general idea. Get rid of them, get the glory and the dilithium, and their crew would be gone. They'd be gone. Oh God, if we lost the crew again. Oh no.
You want me to zap him?
No.
No, all right.
Find
There.
us our rock.
I am sorry, Captain. Permission to get my rasher of blood wine?
Do you really need more blood wine right now?
Yes.
You are on duty.
Oh, when will Azek be back?
When he is back.
Azek, would you like to be in the scene?
Sure.
The door opens and there is the loud roar of the audience applauding and clapping as Azek steps in. What's Azek's sitcom line to enter this room?
He's got one hot pocket or gawk pocket in one hand, and
nothing in the other.
Captain, I think our cheese or our cook is working on a smaller version of these things, bite size apparently.
I don't care. Take your station.
Aye, aye. What seems to be the problem?
We're here. The prize getting us up the correct rock, and you're going to fly us there, and hopefully not fly us into it.
Azek's going to notice the. I'm assuming the view screen is going to have some sort of recognition of the black hole.
I'd be willing to say that
it's marked on the tactical, yeah.
yeah, at this point the screen probably shifted from the like streaking warp signature or like the streak of the stars as you are at warp to a display of the tactical screen as the ship is about to enter the system. Which yeah, Bahan will just disengage the engines at the system's edge so that you are now like in the system.
Sweet. I've always wanted to fly around one of those.
It's on the other side of the system. We're not going anywhere near it.
Yet. You underestimate my flying abilities.
You underestimate. You overestimate your usefulness. Keep us away from the black hole.
There's the sitcom. Whoa. Just kind of. Yeah. Close, but not quite. There we go. Oh, not quite. I do love it, though.
Some freaking soundboard. Good lord.
Yeah. Azek, you man your station.
Yep.
And the grateful Noskin goes to get quite smashed. Or at least as much as the captain will allow him.
I hand him the half-eaten gawk pocket.
He takes a big bite out of it. Like the big sort of get it in his mouth, snap off the bit, and like jerk visibly away with his or like craning its very stiff metal plated neck as much as he can. So yeah, you are on your way in now. So we have at this point we have Azek on the bridge. We have the captain, of course, and that's changing now to reflect that. Just swapping out some people here on the bridge. Let's see. So, would anyone else like to be on their duty station right now, or anyone else like to be involved in the scene in some manner?
Yeah, Woe will come in.
Yep. All right. So, the door will open, and Woe, you will enter the bridge. How are you doing right at this point?
Woe kind of just not quite stumbles, but doesn't quite come in as gracefully as usual. Her hair kind of looks matted and just greasy. She does not look good. She just kind of sighs. Reporting for duty, Captain. I heard Ezek was driving. Figured I'd better be here at battle stations. Lest he bump into anybody important. She just kind of bares her teeth at Ezek.
Yeah, just hoping he doesn't fly us into the rock.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know
truly,
Dwayne
that
was
would be
out this
so
far.
terrible.
Why do I need to roll?
I caught it. I wasn't gonna laugh.
Um,
Fortunately, I am immature, so I'm gonna laugh for everybody.
well, let's see. Before I do this, I realize I am a little behind on providing you guys some momentum, so I think at least 3 would be in order here. There we go. And Ezek, I will not necessarily require you to roll unless you would really like to do so. I suppose maybe a control and con would be in the offing, and I suppose just to make things a little spicy, I can spend 1 point of threat to increase your complication range by 1.
Okay.
You are
I would
assisted.
like to spend 1 momentum to get 3 dice instead of the normal 2 that we start with.
Perfectly sound.
And
Raldar, if you would care to drop that.
Yep.
I'm assuming I can use piloting for my focus.
Yes. And there it is. Ezek, you roll 2 successes, which will be enough to succeed. However, that third die is a complication.
Oh yeah.
So tell me, Ezek, would you prefer to give the GM a point of threat, or would you instead rather accept a narrative complication?
I would accept a narrative complication if I could throw in what the narrative complication might be.
We fly into a rock.
The GM will hear you out.
Phantom limb syndrome kind of kicks on, and I go to maneuver the ship, and as I do, I go to push a button that I think my arm should be there to push that button, but it doesn't. So that's what causes us to kind of slightly go off course. And there's kind of a mumbling groan from me as the pain is very noticeable. Um,
So I will allow for that. It is something that you are able to correct for after just a little bit of time, but the Yon's navigational arc does take it off for a moment. Um, and unfortunately, woe as you man a tactical console, you can't help but note that the navigational arc that you have taken has attracted the attention of a Da Spoo class Klingon attack ship, or rather an escort.
We have company, Captain. Raising shields. We have shields, right? Tell me we have shields.
You
We
do have
have
shields.
shields.
Yes.
Oh,
doesn't
thank God.
arrive till Tuesday.
That's the one thing that they were sure to leave without, or rather to leave with. So they're currently at long range, and they are pilots. Yes, Captain. The ship is on closing vector. Constant bearing, decreasing range. They will be ranging us with their torpedoes very shortly.
Hail them.
Okay. Vopri attempts to signal. Mm, they are not answering just yet, and with that, the cargo vessel is going to. They are actually going to just fire a single torpedo out your way. So let's see how they do with that. That is no successes to start with, so not even a ship assist is going to come into play. Um, no sooner than does Vopri say that they are hailing, or rather that they are not responding, a light comes up on the sensor and tactical consoles. They entered as soon as they entered basically maximum effective range, they fired a torpedo.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me? Oh no. Hopefully the GM is not being lost here.
I can hear you still.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Just to make sure. Sorry, everybody, there for a moment. I'm taking a quick look just to make sure that the stream system is still working, so we should all be good. Anyway, um, basically, the moment that they entered maximum range for their torpedoes, so the furthest out possible point where they thought they could get a shot, they did. But their aim is still pretty shit, so it flew past well off your bow, barely like worthy of notice. It was on the visual like a bright light going across.
Return fire.
All right. What do I roll for this?
That would depend on what attack you are making. It is control and security either way, I suppose, assisted by the ship's weapons and security.
Yeah.
For the
Helm, bring us about so we can launch torpedoes at them.
okay.
And the disruptor
Alright.
cannons.
Aye, aye, Captain.
And the disruptor cannons on either side of the bridge.
Fantastic. I'll be alternating those without mercy.
Okay, so I guess the first move here would be, let's see. Well, since the captain ordered torpedoes to start, it would be those are a difficulty 3 control and security roll. It is done, it's the easiest roll that you actually have right now because disruptor cannons, while they are difficulty 2, that difficulty increases as you go outside of close range because cannons are a close weapon. Torpedoes, however, are the proper weapon at this time. Well, you have one success on the board so far. You can always. Well, the ship can assist you technically, and if it scores the 2 with weapons and security, then it will give you what you need there. I don't recall if there are any talents on the ship that are of any particular help.
Let's see.
We have some kind of torpedo talent.
Plate of armor, rapid fire torpedo launcher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Pretty well armed for a tiny little ship.
I know, right?
We have like five torpedo launchers.
Yep. Okay.
And yet we did not hit one. Oh,
Well,
Two to the front, two to the rear, and one to the underside.
speaking of,
very sexy of us.
Raldar, do you want to try and give the ship a roll while you were looking things over? Weapons and security.
Weapons and security. Let's do just one.
Well, that
Can
is
I
a
reroll that 0 at all?
You can. So your options here would be since Raldar did roll with the ship gave you a second success. I would be prepared to say that you have I would be prepared to let you succeed at cost, where you hit the ship with a detonation, but it's still a little further out than would be effective. So whatever damage you roll on those torpedoes would be cut in half.
Okay.
Well, let's do that then.
Okay. Yeah. The other possibility, of course, is spending your point of determination.
I only have one though, and I might need that later.
Yeah. So, whoever has the ship open, go ahead and roll damage for your photon torpedoes.
Alright, photon torpedoes.
That is 4 points of damage with the high yield effect. However, that is it is not quite enough to do damage to the. It is not quite enough to do damage to the ship. It will resist 3 of those, so it'll take 1 point to their shields. They will otherwise resist. So I guess at this point you are properly in combat, and that would be considered a first action, if as it were. You may elect, if you so wish, to keep the initiative, just as you would in a ground engagement. Yeah, that space I think basically has the same version of Swift. Yeah, they have the Swift task option as well. Um, Alternatively, you can allow the ship to act.
Let's see what they're gonna do now.
Okay. There's a.
Did we hit them? Did we not fire the disruptors? Or
well, the disruptors hadn't fired yet. It's when you fire weapons, okay. It's not necessarily a shout fire everything and you just spray it all out.
Yeah, gotcha.
The ship, like the mechanics, treat it as disruptors and torpedoes having separate roles for their attacks. Anyway, there is a beat in the moment after the torpedo flies out and detonates just ahead of their forward shield, where there's a moment that they don't do anything, and then a beep comes from Vopra's console. Captain, the commander of the escort is on hailing frequency.
On screen.
Oh. On the screen before you, you see the face of a Kohawi, the Discovery style Klingon for reference, in a fairly simple sort of leather jacket under relatively low lighting. Just his head is hung low so that his eyes are centered on the screen, giving you almost a sort of Kubrick style stare. Oh. Batach, you fly too close to our claims. What is your purpose?
None of your business. Do not fire on my ship again.
He kind of bares his teeth at you. It becomes my business if you get close to where we are mining. I'll not have thieves.
If I want to take your mine, I will. And you will know about it. Now go home and dig your rocks.
I'll be watching you.
And I will not be watching you. Because you are not worth my time.
Toba. And with that, he'll just... He cuts the line as you deliver it, like your mid-insult delivery.
And then I just laugh. Fool.
That went better than I expected.
Your faith is noted.
But yes, with that...
Now, Korg, make sure you push the right buttons this time and get us where we're supposed to go.
Yes, sir.
Well, with that roll there, I'll go ahead and assign you another point of momentum just to allow for that course correction. But yeah,
as I push the right buttons, I look down at my arm that's missing and I say, "Suck it."
Yep.
I really hope you say that on the inside.
Nope.
Nope. Yeah. Alas, a symptom of a lingering symptom of Azek's exposure to the virus is that he no longer has internal monologue.
It's all externalized.
So we can all hear him openly talk about how much better a captain he would make. Is that what we're hearing? Just a steady stream of terrible consciousness.
And how awesome it would be to get a little like Gok pocket grill up here on the bridge, so we just have this constant supply of Gok pockets.
Oh God. I'm this close to. Sorry, I'm this close to
Like those hot dog
forcibly
things
shutting it.
like those hot dog things they have at the gas stations. That just
I
constantly
don't.
spinning the taquitos.
I don't want to
Oh,
hear
Lord.
about your dark conveyor belt pouring directly into your never-ending gob. Shut up.
On that particular note, some minutes
Gee.
pass. Good.
No, it's okay.
As some time passes in transit, the yawn eventually closes to an object that Voprise indicated on the tactical. And ahead of you, the visual gives you sight of a fair-sized planetoid. Nothing certainly compared against the nothing compared against the like majesty of other planets in the system. Either the handful of gas giants or greater rocky worlds, but one consistent, like large enough to be a place that the Yon could easily park itself on top with room to spare, and one that, from what you know,
So we can actually dock on this rock and not have to beam over.
uh, you could probably land on it, although there's not an atmosphere in the external area. You need to assess the exact nature of the base here. Um, but you know that it is within the interior that the wealth of this asteroid resides, and possibly the miners. Also, just on a real quick aside, thank you, Ellie, for stopping in. Welcome, light emitting doe. Hope that your stream is going well and is and has been and shall for whatever you have going on. But it is always nice to have people drop in. Um, Back to the game. Yeah, Tabak, so the Yan has made its approach here, and you have this large asteroid on your scopes.
Now, again, I need a reminder because real life has driven most of the job that I had out of my head. And typically I can remember this stuff, which is why I don't write it down. But apparently I had an overflow problem. Why are we here again?
Um,
Captain, I believe we.
No, this is me, not the captain.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
This is the player, not the character.
not
Everyone respond in your character voice.
that is a good question. Why are we here? Are we
Why
just?
are any of us here?
I wasn't asking for a philosophical debate. I just don't remember what the hell we're doing.
Just for large cartoonish effect. You're
What
here.
of us?
You're here because I asked you to come here and kick some squatters out of this mine. There's the House of Clog has claimed this rock here and the dilithium that's inside, and some Kreel are squatting in it.
It's like a Klingon version of Shrek.
What am I doing? What?
Get out of my rock!
What are you doing in my mining claim?
Give me my money.
Oh my god.
So we're just here to kick these guys out of this rock.
Oh yeah. Squatter situation, but not
Okay.
really.
Okay, scan the rock.
Okay, Captain. I will attempt. It looks like this will be reason and science roll.
I fixed the sensors. Should be fine now.
Yes, that I appreciate that, Captain. The difficulty will not be increased because of that. It is, however, still a difficulty 3 roll, I believe. Do you want me to spend momentum?
Sure.
I'm for momentum, but also,
Sure.
Volpry, did you visit Scotland recently? Your accent is getting a bit weird.
No, what is a Scotland? I have not been to that planet.
Suspicious.
Okay. Anyway, so, Raldar, if you would care to drop a point of momentum, I'm going to go ahead and
Yep.
roll reason and science with the ship's sensors and science assisting. And Vopri will get 3 successes on his own.
Woo!
Ooh,
Ooh.
interesting.
So then,
Go Pry, vote Pry.
Vopri is our only competent officer. There's none other.
he is both competent and without either any sort of without any sort of internal turmoil that has manifested in any way. He's doing his best.
He's not doing too badly either.
Yep.
He appears to be the only one who has, aside from the captain, who only has a single personality.
Yeah, Kressik's also there, and Kressik is quite competent.
Are you sure about that? Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. I heard Azik. Kressik is very competent.
Yes. That's pretty much the only reason why most of us aren't dead again.
Yeah, no, Kressik is killing it. Well, I mean,
Well,
not
no,
killing
he's
it.
not really.
He's healing it. He's healing it.
Um, well, Captain, I believe I have located what appears to be a single crater. Seems to have had some excavation. I am detecting power signatures, possibly space vehicles which have docked in the area. There's signs of some pressurized compartments or spaces within the rock. It seems like there's a settlement of some sort inside it. There are some difficulties. I am attempting to compensate. A, a there are enough elements of uranium, galisite, other minerals uh, that are creating some interference. I believe no more than 20 life signs on the base.
What are they?
All appear to be Kreel. They,
Are
they're,
the, are the vessels that you can detect armed?
there appear to be small vessels. I put them on relative scale 1, all below our class, but appearing to be 3 of them. It seems they have various hard links, umbilicals, interconnecting each other, and the outpost. They may be powering it through the ships. They have other compartments through there throughout.
Are any of the life signs on board the ships?
One or two are detected there. Captain, it is likely they will notice us engaging our main sensor beam.
Well, pick one of those ships.
Yes, Captain.
Pick one of those ships. Destroy it. And have a little enthusiasm for Kalis' sake.
I would say that in terms of like at range right now, you are probably. I think this would put it at medium range, which means that you. Well, no, I'll let you be outside of this to where you're at long range. That would mean torpedoes are still the most optimal option. You could move in slightly closer and allow for your disruptor cannons to be more effective. It depends.
All right, I thought we were much closer than that. So yeah, get us in optimal range and then blow up one of the ships.
Okay. I'll tell you what, I'll allow for you to be closer. Let's call this medium range right now, which means the cannons are slightly more viable, but you still want to get closer. This shot would be a bit more complicated just by virtue of the fact that you are in You are at basically, or like you are trying to aim into a relatively narrow slot.
Well, if we hit the wrong ship, I really don't care. But
Oh, we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. I prematurely rolled, and it was bad.
Oh,
Everybody.
okay. Well, yes, I actually just noticed that was no successes on that attack roll, with one complication. And I presume, Woe, that you would
Torpedo 2 had a premature evacuation.
you would sooner see that torpedo
Yes.
detonate in the tube than allow me to take more threat. Would that be correct?
No,
Yes.
no.
That is exactly right.
Yeah.
Violence?
I will never admit that this never happened to me before. We're doing this. Let's just go.
All right. The yeah, you. I guess the question would be, Woe, do you let off a torpedo or do you attempt to fire disruptors?
Well, originally I was thinking torpedo.
Then we can go for
But
that,
then,
and I will not make it as bad as I will not make it as bad as it detonates in the tube.
oh no, just outside of it. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll go with that.
We go to make a threat
Oh
display,
no!
and we destroy our own ship.
You
Really?
fire off a torpedo. Unfortunately, you had without realizing a proximity fuse had been activated. So at about 100 meters, we'll call it 200 meters away. Still bad though. The torpedo actually detonates just ahead of the hull, or rather, just ahead of the ship. The wave is enough with the yield to knock the ship back a little bit. I'm going to say same as before. Roll damage for the torpedo, but you will only take half before resistance here.
So embarrassing. Oh.
Okay, that is 4 points of damage. Cut that in half for 2, and
Ship
the
resists too.
yep. So yeah, Tabak, you see the visual, and the torpedo flies out before just brilliant light engulfs the screen as it detonates ahead. You are all buffeted back in your chairs, and everyone in different stations feels that pretty well. Thankfully, the shields were up from the earlier encounter. So there was a moment of recovery and vote process. Uh, Torpedo detonated 100 kilograms off the bow.
We know.
Whoa.
Shut up.
But anyway,
Moving closer. I'm not having any luck with torpedoes today.
Captain, the crater we were targeting, the one with the ships, their emitters seem to have powered up. There is now a shield screen blocking all entry. We are receiving a signal.
Move closer. Get us a target lock. A good, solid target lock. Maybe we could throw a rock at them and hit them. And then put them on screen.
Okay, so Azek, this would be. You don't actually have to roll for it. You can just say that you can fire up the maneuvering thrusters, and that will move you from medium to close range.
I actually do want to roll for it because I want to put myself as close to nose as I can.
Okay.
Not that close.
I like your boldness, so go ahead and give me a control and con roll, please.
And I'm going to use a momentum on this to get 3 dice because, yeah.
And this will just be difficulty 1 here. Yep, so that's 2 points of, or rather, that is 2 successes, which will mean you take an extra point of momentum. The ship can also roll engines and con for anyone that's willing to roll that.
Engines
Gonna,
and con.
yep. I was going to say I was considering maybe we should voluntold the doctor since Raldar is designated momentum officer. Just push off all the work onto the Gorn. That being said, Raldar is doing quite well with that. That is
Roldar is the only one that's nailing it.
two successes with the ship's engine. So yeah, Azek, you easily put the ship nose to nose with the shields, or with the shielded section as close as you wish without actually making contact.
Now, might
There
as
you
well
go.
if we're gonna
There you go, Captain.
shoot them, and we might as well have them nose to nose. God knows we already just tried to shoot our own face off.
That said, you are at optimal disruptor range now. So let's see.
Captain, if you wanted to go for a stroll, you could just head right on out and just jump straight across. You're right there.
And just to clarify here, were you going to you moved the ship and then you wanted to answer their signal, or were you going to
I
attack?
wanted to start moving the ship and then answer their hail while we're in motion.
Okay, so as Azek pulls in the ship and brings you close enough, you get an audio signal. Klingon vessel, you are intruding on a legitimate operation here. Identify yourselves.
Intruding on a stolen mining claim.
What are you talking about, Klingon vessel? Our clearance should have gone through.
Lies.
Look, you believe what you want. You make whatever excuses you want. Any attempts to attack this station will be met with force.
You have 12 hours. Leave. Vopri. Quietly, so they. Yeah. Vopri, cut the audio. Vopri, block all of their transmissions, except to us.
Okay.
Jam them. Let them eat static.
Vopri begins going through, and he will begin to execute jamming. So let's see, just a quick roll from him, and let's see I'm going back to double check this because there is a proper task for communications officers. Let's see. Yes, signal jamming. The communications officer transmits signals to interfere with the target's attempt to communicate. Choose a single vessel or other target within medium range to jam. This has a power requirement of 1. This is a control plus engineering role assisted by the ship's communication and security. The character chooses a difficulty of 1, 2, or 3. Success means that target increases the difficulty of hailing frequencies open or respond to hail tasks by an amount equal to the difficulty that the communication officer chooses. Now, I guess I will open this up to all of you very broadly. What would you like the difficulty for them to be? It can go to a maximum of 3 or a minimum of 1.
Can we manage 3?
I mean, it's entirely possible. Vopri might want a point of momentum in order to do that, but it would be possible to jam them for 3, yes.
Then, yeah. Let's go 3.
Let's do a little momentum.
Yep, throw momentum at them.
Okay, so Vopri will roll for that with 3 dice.
Oh.
He will score a single success. You can still be assisted by the ship's communications and security.
Will probably have determination.
He does, which I suppose, let me look over what values he has.
Please don't kill me, please don't kill me, please don't kill me.
As little trouble as can be had is best, I suppose, would apply. So he will attempt to re-roll the 2 zeros. So 2 successes plus 1 from the ship. Thank you there, Ray. So that will give you the 3 successes necessary to block that out, and it will add back. It will regain your point of momentum.
Yay!
Bo, I want target locks on every one of those ships.
Yes, Captain.
I do believe, Captain, I have blocked them as effectively as I believe that I can. Um, we
Good.
should be able to inhibit any signals that go out. To that end, they are going to make an attempt of a difficulty 3 communications and engineering roll. One of their engineers, and then an assist from the improvised station. Oh dear.
Oh.
They managed 4 successes on that task.
Ah!
Captain, I am trying to. Their comm array appears to be quite powerful, Captain.
Find their comm array, target it, and destroy it.
Uh,
The direction I wanted to start in, but that's where we're going to go.
okay, so they do manage to get the signal out in that time. I guess then the orders have gone to you, Woe, to attempt a
Disruptor fire.
yep.
Okay, control and security.
Let's see. Yes, that would be control and security. Because we are effective. Let's see. So technically, the way that, as I recall, space combat working, basically the turns that you have for the ship are determined based on the scale of the ship, which Theon being scale 2 means that to go through a full round only requires 2 people to act. Um, if so long as another action has taken place basically between your shots, Woe, you have the ability to or like the turn resets so you don't assume any corresponding like increase in difficulty basically. And there have been a couple of actions since then, so you should actually be quite good here. So at close range, this is going to be control and security. It is a base difficulty of 2. However, because you are trying to aim into the bases, or like you're trying to locate the right outcropping, and not hit any asteroid in the process that would diminish the weapon's fire, you have to take this task at a difficulty of 3.
Right. Let's hope and pray. Oh, I seem to have triple clicked to that. All right. Well, at least it's the same across the board. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so,
Ron can
oh,
assist. Right.
that is a whole bunch of the same exact roll, or at least that's a lot of 2 successes.
Yep. Accident. Sorry.
Well, so wait a minute. That one of those is like a 4 and a 5. Remind me, what are Woe's focuses here? Is there anything for shipboard combat?
I don't think so. No. I can't use any of these.
I gotcha. I was going to say then if there were something there, then I would say that yeah, some of those might have gotten critical successes, but nope. Okay, so that's 2 successes. That almost gets you there. Oh, and you're actually targeting a specific system here, so that it occurs to me retroactively that the difficulty is actually 4. I will allow, if you wish to take like a point of momentum and roll like an extra d20 or 2, depending on how much
Yeah.
you wish to spend. I will allow that. I apologize. It
No, you're fine.
Also, you're coming in a bit
1d20.
quiet there, Ray.
Oh, sorry. Thing. Is this better?
Yes, much.
So a d20, did you say?
I was going to say if you wanted to spend a couple points of momentum.
Do we want to do that, or do we want to just
Yes.
save that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, that would have been a well, no, that wouldn't have been a complication, but that's not a success. So, I guess roll for the ship.
Would that
Weapons and
be
security should still do this.
weapons? Dang it! This is sucking.
Okay. So, while you are trying to angle the disruptors as best as you possibly can, the shields of this station are just completely no selling what hits you are able to land, and like you try maybe to find a seam between some of the asteroid and the disruptors, but you're finding that the asteroid is the composition is such that it would you're finding that the disruptors aren't really doing much to like gain any serious depth. Indeed, in order to really seriously do anything at like the at the base, like to get to the base, it would be all but prohibitive, or it would require a scale of bombardment that your ship is not capable of doing. So, trying to break through the shields is the best way.
And she slams her fist down on the panel. Piece of
Too hard.
garbage.
With no damage left from that particular venture, there is a moment of there are a few moments where nothing happens. Okay, they are going to make an attempt at a task of their own. Captain, I believe I am detecting a power-up of... There appears to be some sort of weapon emitter in the crater. And this will be a difficulty 3 task because they have a bank weapon, which ideally works at medium range, but you're at close. So let's see how they do. And actually, because of what they're attempting, they are taking a complication. However, have dropped 3 points of threat in order to buy 2 additional dice. And they are attempting a task which will occur at a complication range of 3 for them because of how they are deciding to pack in some extra power for this. Captain, I am detecting a power-up. I believe they have some sort of laser-based weaponry. And with 3 successes, they are going to dump in 2 points of their power in order to launch out, and that will give them an extra... I believe that gives them 2 extra D20s or D6s on this, rather. And there's the lance of a large energy discharge from the station that, or rather from inside the asteroid crater, that collides with the shields and causes things to buckle for a moment. As you take 4 points of damage to the shields, I believe 3 of which you resist.
Correct.
Okay. So there's mild damage to the forward shield. Let's see.
All right, there we are.
Okay. Coming in a little loud there just while on the
Look, on my phone now, while my computer does whatever silliness it's doing.
Copy
What
that.
kind of system was that just shot at us?
Captain, they have it appears they've set up a free electron laser bank.
They shot us with a laser?
A high-powered laser, yes. It appears they have interlinked emitters to form a banked weapon, and with the amount of power they put through, it seems to have done. Our shields have taken slight damage.
Well, do you have target locks on those individual ships?
I was under the impression I did. Would you like me to blow them up?
Start with a couple of them. Yeah.
Okay. So this will be another control and security roll. Since you're not targeting a specific weapon system, or rather, are you targeting a particular subsystem now to try and damage the base?
Just a ship. Just one of
We're
those
just, we're
ships.
just
Realize they're
doing
all
any ship that's
interconnected.
anything that's close by.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So it'll still take a. Let's see. Because of how they are parked, it will still be a. Well. Yeah, I think to target a specific ship, I'd basically treat that as a subsystem issue, so that's going to be a difficulty of 3, but I won't necessarily... The ships are a big enough target that you could generally hit them right now, so go ahead and give that another roll here. Okay, that is 1 from the... one success from Woe, and you may still use the ship to try and assist. But alas, the ship is not quite.
Gosh, dang it! This has been horrible. This
Yep.
is genuinely bad.
In spite of your best efforts, Woe, the disruptors are just not making a dent. It is as if they are, well, at the range that you are at, it is though they are routing their deflector to specifically inhibit each and every shot of yours to minimize the disruptor damage. And that'd be multiple deflectors that would be reinforcing it since they have since they have a few small ships in position.
Nothing I'm doing is working. We've got to come up with a different plan.
Find a weak spot in those shields. Whoa, you look at it. Vopri, you look at it too. Raldar, see what you can do about up in the shields. Our shields.
Isaac, are we doing are we doing evasive maneuvers?
I can
Or are we
Uh,
just
Perhaps.
slow dancing in the dark with them?
Perhaps. GM, I have a question.
Yes.
Would I be able to do maybe an insight engineering check to see if I were to push the ship forward, it would go shields to shields. Would we be able to possibly pop their shields with ours, or would it more just push them?
So I think that at that point, it's an interesting question because I think that might lead to, well, depending on how fast you are trying to take it, that might qualify as either a vanilla version of ramming speed or some modified version.
That's basically what I'm trying to do. Because since we're nose to nose, if I just inch it forward and just start putting a hell of a lot of stress on their shields, they're either going to have to put all their shields forward to withstand the hold, or those shields are going to come down, and then they have no shields for the torpedoes to get right, or the weapons to get right through.
Okay, was I not heard when I gave a couple of orders?
I stepped away for a second, so maybe.
Okay, I told Vopri and Woe to find find weak spots in the shields, even minuscule weak spots, and for Raldar to see what he could do about fixing our front shield.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was indulging Azek there too because it was I took that as an out of character maneuver as opposed to I figured Azek would offer the order before anything gets done.
It was more of a would Azek know this, or is that even possible kind of thing.
So
I would think it would result more in shield fratricide, so we both lose our shields, at least momentarily.
Oh. Yeah, That would quite possibly disrupt both of your shields if, or with sufficiently like sustained pressure, um, which does also risk damage and would make firing a very difficult process.
Yeah. Okay. In that
And
case, well, I'll just curb that idea, as cool as it would be.
yeah,
And
keep it in the back pocket for now.
yeah.
But anyway, so I guess the question would be, which order would you prefer be done first? Would you like Raldar to restore the shields? Would you prefer Vopri scan for weakness?
Yeah, because all of this is sort of, it's got to be sequenced right as far as game mechanics go. So,
Yeah.
uh,
I would also offer, like, while not much is going on in terms of sick bay as of yet, or they haven't dealt a serious enough damage, Kresic, would you want to be involved in this scene at all? Or would you want to be anywhere besides sick bay right now?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. So,
uh, okay. The.
it's
Sorry, I'm thinking like 15 different ways here. Hold
yeah.
on.
I'll give you the tell you what. Raldar, would you like to make a roll of your own?
Fix shields?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Okay. So down in engineering, the orders from the captain come out through the audio, or like through the intercom system, and you start setting to work on that. Because you are working from the engine room, you do have the advantage right now of basic, like the engine room or reactor pit rather does give you the ability basically to reduce the difficulty on or on ship related tasks by one, or specifically engineering related tasks.
Oh yeah. I got the thing out. I'll get this ship fixed in a jiffy.
Yep. So let's see. Yeah, that was control and engineering, difficulty of 1, so you do technically meet. You may also roll for the ship's structure and engineering to assist that.
Yeah, structure and engineering.
Okay. I have a question, Mr. GM.
Yes.
As an engineer and being focused in ship shield systems, what can I, if I go check out with the sensor readings, what can I determine about their shields? Can I find some way to cause a cascade failure in their shield systems to
Well,
bring them down?
I think that might come with a scan for weakness task, which technically I suppose Tabot could assist with. Uh, so let's see. The first, just real quick, I'm looking over the task here for restoring shields. So let's see. There's the power expenditure, which I saw was already done. You scored 2 successes on that task. That does allow for, points of shields to be restored. Let's see. The ship regains 2 points of shields plus 2 for each momentum spent. Really, you only need 1 point back at this stage. Yeah.
Remember, it's difficulty 0 because that was in main engineering.
Yes, that is quite true. So yeah, that would give you back 2 points of momentum, which were floating at that point. So I suppose I don't think that well, I guess it would just be treated as the shields, obviously being fully restored. I'll tell you what, I will reward that success and give you the ability to say take an extra. Basically, to gain an extra point of resistance for this next turn. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, I guess the turn goes back to your opponents for the moment, and let's see. The commanding, their expedition leader is going to try and issue some commands here in order to provide an assist, and that will allow them to make another attempt here on their next attack, which will be done with the same complication range. And also, I'll spend another point of momentum to give them an extra d20 for their roll here. So they're rolling 3 dice, and 1 from the ship. Oh no, they rolled a complication. However, the expedition leader has space is tough, so you need to be tougher as a value, and I will allow that to enter into the fray in order to re-roll those 3 d20s. Oh no! Captain, I am detecting a power-up in the energy grid for their main weapon, and shortly after that there are other signals from Vopri's console. Captain, I believe the bank emitters have shorted out. They are fried. I believe their weapon system is inoperable.
Good. Terrible engineering. Let's see if we can find a hole in those shields.
Yes, Captain. And
Remind me again who's really good with transporters.
I thought we settled on Croker as being the sensor person, or transporter person.
Croker, get to the transporter room.
So let's see. Just going back for one more check here. And Tabak, if you want to come over to... Well, I'll tell you what. I will let you spend momentum to obtain information on this, because I think that will be what winds up making more sense here. Let's see. Scanning for weakness. Vopri can attempt a control and science task with a difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's sensors and security.
And me.
Well,
Yes?
I was considering that instead it might make more sense for you just to be able to obtain the information with since
Okay.
Vopri is sure to
And
get
then-
momentum off of this. And you're already full of momentum at this point. And this is
Okay.
only a difficulty 1 roll, which Vopri will score 2 successes. And does anybody want to roll a d20?
I can roll for the ship.
Or yes, roll for the ship, please. Thank you.
What are
Thank you
we-
there, Rev. Just,
What are we doing again?
I believe sensors and security. Okay. So yeah, that will give you a total of 3 successes with 1 from the ship, and that will cause, that gives you 2 floating momentum. Captain, I believe I have identified the vessel. It seems as though there may be a way to concentrate fire to disrupt the emitters in this area. I have also noticed, Captain, the it seems as though the shielding system actually only covers this cave area. It would be possible to bypass them via transporter. However, it would be difficult to attempt to bypass that, as there is mineralogical interference from the asteroid's composition.
But what about the ships themselves? They're all docked to the base module and
Yes,
interlinked power systems.
I would not advise. I would certainly not advise trying to beam to the ships through the asteroid. More likely, a compartment inside the hollowed-out base that they have created. But that would mean going through the mines. In terms of the power systems, they are using some cover from the crater in order to shield it. But I do believe there are some vulnerable points that we might use to disrupt the shield grid, or their ability to reinforce it.
All right. Need to find a spot in the shielding to either get a hole or bring it down, and then I need coordinates inside that we can get to with the transporter.
I believe I have spotted something. Uh, so
Procur, are you in the transporter room?
Yes, darling. Croker in transport.
We're going to need site-to-site transport. When I give the order, take our ugly Raldar clone, and you're going to drop it down into that base.
Brilliant.
you can't see this chat at home and players, but I am covering half of my face now. Like, oh no. Oh no, they're unleashing Nemesis. I should take threat for that if it happens. Oh my
We
god.
are the threat.
Yeah.
We are the threat here, mister. Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah. So you have those. Vopri feeds some targeting information, which will now, since it's not so much targeting you're not so much targeting like one of the ships or well, I don't consider this a. Sorry, just looking back over this. So, all right, yeah. I went back to my notes here as far as this goes. I think that because you are like trying to fire through points in the shield grid and that this and like specifically to hit sort of systems to disrupt their emitters, it would still start out as a difficulty 3 task. However, I think that with the scanning for weakness here, uh, normally it wouldn't reduce difficulty, but I'm going to allow it in this particular case.
Could we reduce the difficulty even more if she just takes the time to aim?
I was just going to say if you just want to take your floating momentum here, we can put it into the advantage of like giving you that specific reduction, basically. So it would
I'm
be the
game.
standard. It would be the standard 2 shot, basically.
I'm game.
Okay. So floating momentum
And
goes
do
in the.
we have the coordinates as well for transport? Yes.
Yes, that'll have to be a separate task, which you will probably need to. If you want to avoid any risk of them getting the shields back up, you may want to spend the 2 momentum in order to regain or in order to keep the initiative for yourselves, basically, and
Right.
that will allow.
Okay. Vopri has sent Croker the coordinates, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Croker is ready to push the big shiny candy-like buttons and make it go, right?
Yes.
Croker's not a pack lead. Come on, man.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I'm making a Ren and Stimpy reference. I apologize.
I copy that. So,
Um,
by I guess first stage energy weapon, second stage bioweapon deployment.
and yes, we will spend the momentum to keep
Well,
initiative.
yeah. I guess they will. Let me do one roll real quick just to see if they. I want to see what the expedition leader thinks of trying to do next, just in case, since their main weapon system is currently out. So they are. This is just something for them to kind of think what their next move in the circumstance would be, or rather to pick between the two. That's enough. They're going to try and stay in the fight, so they are going to commit some of their others to attempt a repair for now. So that'll be I'll still be difficulty pretty high. Well, with rugged design, that should be a difficulty 1. Well, no, that'll still be difficulty 2 roll, but they'll make the attempt nonetheless. And they'll definitely get the focus on that. Not quite. So the weapon system, it remains offline for now, and the turn goes back to you.
Fire.
All right. Well, up for the redemption round.
Oh God. I was hoping this was a Crocker situation.
Make a crowd.
Croker rolls next here, but Woe has to bring down the shields. This is, however, a difficulty 2 control and security roll. So
All right.
What is the ship helping with?
weapons and security. So
You
yeah, if
guys
you want
ready? We're doing it.
Okay, that is 1 from Woe, or 1 success.
Can I burn a determination?
Yes. What value would you like to invoke here? Or you could just use the mission directive of kicking these people out, basically.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do the mission directive because I have no value to do.
Okay. That does allow you to re-roll the pool, basically. So Tabak can re-roll for the ship, and Woe, you may re-roll one of your dice in the task roller there. That's 2 successes with Woe now. Then Tabak, do you want
Nothing from
to?
the ship.
Oh, yeah.
I did re-roll. It's a fail, but it got rid of the complication.
Yep. So with this, Woe, you manage to land a hit with the disruptors. You just pour on a merciless degree of fire, and this will allow you to, with the scan for weakness task, what the implications of this have are that you, with this next attack, you gain the piercing 2 quality, so you can ignore 2 points of resistance for every effect that you roll. This will be on top of the vicious roll that your disruptors already have. And if, let's see. Yeah, that would basically be what happens next. So go ahead, and whoever has the ship open, roll damage for the disruptor cannons.
All right.
It should be about, yep. Okay, that is 3 points of damage with the effect for a total of 6. So with
Does
that,
anybody want to spend a point of momentum to reroll those 3 blanks?
I will tell you those effects also have the piercing quality, or with piercing 2, that's a total of 6 points of piercing. The station, I do not count as having nearly that much resistance, so you deal effectively like a pretty full degree of blows there. So let's see. That being said, if you want to spend a point of momentum, you could re-roll those 3 challenge dice there to do some extra damage.
Sure.
Okay.
We're already spending 2 to keep the momentum.
Okay. So
how? All right. So
what I would do is I would go to the you see that in the task roller section where there's a challenge dice slot.
yes. Okay.
So
re-rolling
press the
3.
number 3, push enter on that before immediately after you enter, type in the number, and then push the roll button. Okay, yep, that did it. So that will be another, with vicious, that will be another 4 points of damage that the disruptors do. So that is a total of 10 points. Okay, so the station is not going to resist that. Let's see here. Woe, with the just sheer punishment that you lay on with the the disruptors mounted on either side of the station, or rather on either side of the bridge. The green bolts fling out with just a constant barrage. The shields, each time barely dispersing away, like flashes of green or sickly green energy, and it finally hits the point to where the disruptors just completely like start shredding through. The shields, although still partially up, now have left a considerable breach in them to where they just cannot keep up with the level of energy dissipation, and the uh, the resulting barrage has now left just massive holes in the shields. In addition to that, there are several of the bolts begin flying into the crater and crashing down into the sections where they have set up the base. So I've rolled a little bit for damage there, and I'm just pulling up my information to see which item that lands on. Let's see. Okay, so that is going to, several bolts are going to crash into one of the Kreel ships, leaving it very seriously damaged. Bits of sparking plasma will flame out of it before the barrage wears out. And they are going to suffer some system damage, specifically to their computers, with a roll of 5. But yeah, with that, Tabak, there is a narrow window now where, with 2 more momentum dropping, you can beam the Raldar clone through.
Done.
All right. So, once again, Croker, this is your roll here. Or rather, Ray, this is a roll with Croker. And because it's site to site, it's going to be a tough one.
Oh. Okay.
It
What
is
do I need to roll?
control plus engineering with a difficulty of 4. Because you're beaming from one location to another where neither one has a pad. Furthermore, the ship will assist you with sensors and engineering.
Okay. Alright, let's try this, guys.
You
Why did it do doubles? Okay, well, fine, whatever. 2.
okay? It's up to the ship now.
Who's got the ship? Button. Who's got the button? Oh, I shouldn't have let Tabak do it. Where's Raldar when you need him?
Okay. Well, it's not a complication at least, so it does still fall a little bit short. Well, it does fall quite short, Captain, because it required
Can we
force.
fix that? I still have my point of determination. Can I spend it somehow?
You know, this might be a stretch on how it's intended to apply, but very technically, one of the uses of that determination is the make it so, which is generally meant to create an advantage. It might be a little generous, but if you have a value you wish to invoke here, then I suppose you could use it to basically rationalize getting it the rest of the way over.
Yeah, my value is this damned machine will do as I wish it.
That name's already, Captain.
That's my value. I will.
Okay, I want.
It's right there on my sheet if you want to take a look.
Yep.
Oh,
I guess
you're inviting me to look at your sheets, huh? Okay.
Tabak, if you want to give any sort of curse or supplemental order to rationalize, like, that he is very agitatedly trying to get the clone off of his ship and into the Kreel base, then go right ahead.
Okay.
I'd like to
Okay.
see it play out as part of this.
As the captain and an engineer, I'm sort of always looking over everybody's shoulders, and when I notice that the energy fluctuation is occurring that's going to fuck all of this up, I swear repeatedly and just start pushing the buttons to fix the energy fluctuation that is the fault entirely of Croker, who's just not quite paying enough attention to the sensor feedback, and push it through and have him materialize 1 meter to the left outside of the wall where he was just about to show up.
Okay. And yeah, with that, it is truly the strangest sight to behold, with Tabok furiously pressing buttons and that residual rage just being felt by everyone on the ship, or like at least everyone on the bridge.
Buttons.
For Croker, this might actually be a different sort of weird moment, because it's kind of like the pottery scene out of Ghost, where you
No, don't you do that.
Tabok's influence of correcting your
You were definitely over my shoulder on that one, Captain. Okay.
I'm sorry, I cannot help this, but
yes, you could have helped that simile. You could have avoided that, Tim.
I could have, but I didn't.
It was funny. It was funny.
And with that, the clone is dematerialized from the hold, and it is now in the base. And the problems which may ensue from that will go. We will see how all of this turns out next time.
Fuck, he's just gonna get stronger now.
I'm saying right now, I am using the same threat. I am applying the same threatening thing because you beamed like you basically sent over Nemesis, sans tentacles and machine gun. That's still like that
we
is
don't know
beyond.
if you can pick up a gun in there.
Yeah, that it's still beyond the pale. So I am taking 3 points of threat just for that.
Oh my god.
We gotta get him back.
We'll get him back unless they kill him. But then if they do knock him down, Cressa can put him back together.
Oh, well, in any case, this
might be the perfect training exercise for him. Stay calm on board the ship, and we'll send you over to play with other people.
Oh my god.
We're
sending him to preschool.
Yes.
This is his preschool.
This is pre-K right here.
I titled this episode Prospect of Violence. Really, I should have just said this was violence.
Promise of violence. The promise of violence.
Yep. Anyway, for those in the archive, this is where we are going to leave off. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode and that you rejoin us next week. But we will catch you later for those in the archives. Until then, this is your GM in the Great Barrier signing off.